Hi everyone, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to my channel, Make It Destination. If this is your first time here, my name's Amanda and this is where I help you make it to your destination. This week we're going to switch things up again and we're going to do a get ready with me video, which I'm super excited for. I want to practice some makeup looks before I go to Las Vegas. I feel like when I try makeup looks right on the spot, I usually mess them up. So I'd rather practice now so that when I go to Las Vegas, I know what colors look good, how to blend, all of that sort of stuff. Again, I'm not a makeup channel, so if I'm not doing everything correctly, you could let me know. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, so I'm excited to get into this video. We're going to be talking about the truth about Cancun. If you're like me, you've seen a lot of people travel, and in the US especially, it's hard for us to go anywhere outside of the US, but Cancun has been extremely open to us going. So I just want to dive deeper, get to know how Cancun became the tourist destination that it is today. So let's get into the video. Okay everyone, so I'm just gonna get into the video. Get your coffee, get your water, a little snack. Again, like I said before, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you've ever been to Cancun, what you think about it. And if you want more of these videos, let me know what place you want me to cover. So yeah, let's go get into it. So I'm just gonna get everything ready right now as we do this. I've never done a get ready with me video, so this is gonna be fun. Just to like preface this video, I just want to let you guys know I have been to Cancun before. It's a beautiful place. I went with my mom and my brother a few years ago. I think it was maybe 2017, 2018. And honestly, it was a lot of fun. It was one of those trips that really just like took us by surprise in a good way. And it was a lot of fun. It's one of those places I think that gets talked about a lot, but you know, you don't really know what to expect, you know, when you first go somewhere. My mom did such a great job planning that trip, so I just want to say thank you to her because I was still young at that moment. I think I was like 17 or 18, so I was of no help with the planning. But I just want to let you know that I'm going to link some of the articles that I used. I always like to cite my sources, so again, this is not all from my brain, and just let you know where I get my information from. If you haven't been, Cancun is in Mexico. It's not an island technically, but it's kind of like a peninsula. And when I was there, I kind of was thinking to myself, I know this foundation is a little darker, by the way. It's my summer shade, so hopefully when I go to Las Vegas, it will be a little more tan then. When I was in Cancun, I kind of started thinking, like, how do places that are popular with tourists get popular anyways? Like in the first place, you know? Like, how does that kind of start? Like, how do people pick, like, Cancun or the Dominican Republic or Jamaica? Like, I wanted to know the history and kind of do, like, a deep dive. I personally didn't know any of this information before I went. Also, watch until the end to see my makeup look, but also, I'm going to let you in a little secret about Cancun, so make sure you watch through. Cancun was actually created by the Mexican government. In the late 1960s, the Mexican government was looking for a place to create a new tourist destination. I know I look a little crazy right now, but they were looking for a new spot to create money for the country. It was the late 60s, and they wanted to kind of reinvent what people thought of Mexico. So they took years to look into all the statistics of which place would be the best for to build their new tourist destination. So they looked at a couple of places and they took in statistics such as average rainfall, average temperature, if there were access to beaches, access to historical areas, and weirdly enough, they wanted to make sure it was a poor area. And at first I was like, why do you want to make sure it's a poor area? That's kind of a weird requirement. But the reason is because whatever region they would bring this tourist industry into would create jobs. So the economics in this region would boom. This is what Cancun looked like before the development. It's literally just, I'm going to say like the strip. It's literally just a strip of nothing. It's just sand, just, you know, a geographic region. They determined that Cancun was the best region because they had the best average rainfall. They had the best weather year round. It was beautiful. And it also had a lagoon and a beach, which was kind of a unique setup. If you have never been, there's a strip that looks like a 7, and then a beach, and then right in the middle, there's a lagoon, and then the city of Cancun. So the population at the time was only about 100 people. It was super small. It was a very poor area. It was a poor fishing town. And they decided to proceed with construction. And I believe it was 1970, around that time. It was only a few hotels, but they really had a good feeling about it because they did all the data analytics, they looked at statistics. It was a poor area, so again, they could help the people. So thanks for getting to this part. You know, that's just a little preface of Cancun. I know it's a little history lesson, I didn't want to get too into it. But they chose Cancun, and they decided to split it up into 5 zones. So, as you know, if you have ever been, they had the hotel zone, the urban zone, the Juarez port zone, the communal fishing zone, and the Alfredo v. Bonville zone, which is a region of housing. So they decided to build hotels, obviously, in the hotel zone, and unfortunately, this caused some environmental problems. Now, if you remember the picture I just showed you, there was nothing on this land. Right? So you start building hotels, you need sewer systems, you need to expand your water filtration systems, you need heating and cooling, most likely not heating, but you need cooling. And they decided for the hotel to be on this private strip because as a tourist, they wanted you to feel like you had your own private beach. And that's the thing that I found weird or different when I went to Cancun was that it felt like it wasn't attached to anything, right? It literally just felt like you were just in a hotel zone, which is kind of weird, It's like, it is nice because you feel as though you're on your own little, island, but I was like, where are the people who live here? Where are the Mexicans? Where's the Mexican culture, It kind of felt like somebody took an American piece of land and threw it in Mexico, right? It didn't really feel like I was in Mexico at all, but that's done on purpose. So yeah, they made sure that people were separated from the actual citizens of Mexico because they wanted people to feel like it was Miami 2.0, right? Whether you like that or not.
Whether you like it or not.
That's just a fact that I'm laying on you is they wanted you to feel like you had your own private beach, which some people love because they don't want to be near anybody when they're on a relaxing vacation in paradise, and other people want a full-blown culture trip. So it just honestly depends on who you are. Many travel destinations obviously are undeniably beautiful, right? I think humans are just very attracted to beautiful geographic landscapes. We want to explore this earth before we can. Right? Whatever you believe in, you can't really explore the earth as a spirit. You got to do it in your physical vehicle. But honestly, there has been some pushback against all this development, even though Cancun has grown into the tourist destination that it has because of the environmental problems. There's water scarcity issues now. People are littering. There's soil erosion. And you might not think this is bad, but they had to import sand to Cancun.
I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, no.
Because the erosion was so bad. Whew, we're gonna get into this. I'm trying to see what colors I'm feeling for this look. I don't know in Las Vegas if I want a smoky eye sort of thing or a brightly colored pop-in look. So let me just see here, sorry. Maybe we'll do a red sort of thing. What do I feel? Okay, sorry. And I'll link all the products that I use down below. Again, I'm not a makeup channel. I don't want to promote myself as that. I'm just practicing some looks while I can. I was at the point where, talking about soil erosion, and you might be like, well, why would this start happening on a beach? Why would this happen in this region, right? You have to think that not only are tourists coming every year, and it's increasing in number every year, at such a fast pace because Cancun didn't exist before the 1970s. It was just a nice piece of land and a fishing village, right? And all of a sudden, millions of people start coming year after year after year. So their population is booming. And here's a picture of what it looks like once it's developed. right? Isn't that crazy? In 1980s/1970s and then now. When you have that sort of growth, the earth is not used to that. That is a very new piece of land. So of course there's going to be erosion. But on top of that, you have to think that people in Mexico are like, oh, Cancun is actually doing very well for itself. I'm going to go there for a job. They're providing economic development. Remember, I told you, they wanted it in a place where it was a poor region to help people out. But of course, people want that wealth to spread. So they're going to move to that area. So now you not only have tourists who are going there every year, but you also have the people in Mexico who want a better life for themselves. There is a population boom that is there all the time, and then tourists who are in and out, in and out, in and out. Your area is going to erode, especially with how delicate that geographic landscape is. It's a strip that looks like a 7 that is surrounded by water. You're going to have some points where the land can't take that anymore. They had to literally take sand from other beaches in Mexico, mind you, in Mexico, and they had to import it to Cancun. So now you're importing sand. And actually, the environmental department in Mexico didn't agree with this. You know, the federal government there was like, well, they need some sand. This is one of our biggest tourist destinations, so we need it here. Which is kind of crazy, to be honest with you, because the fact that you're importing sand to a beach means that once you start doing it, you're not going to be able to stop. There's already a problem. There's some more issues on top of this, right? When you're successful, I think, especially as a government in promoting a certain area, it always comes with a downfall. There's always something wrong, especially when you're growing that fast. Let me just buff this out a little bit. So workers, like getting to like the hotel chains that are there, specifically, I noticed that most of them were private international hotels. This isn't like your mom and pop, like boutique hotels. This is like international people who are paying Mexico in order to have their hotel chain there, right? Unfortunately, even though the Mexican government wanted it to be in a poor area in order to uplift their people, the workers are not receiving that benefit. The workers are paid extremely low wages, and they're expected to work very long days during their peak season. And get this, when I was reading this shocked me, because I didn't think about it this way. If they don't have enough labor in Mexico, or people do not want to accept a low wage, let's just say, these hotel chains have access to get international workers to work at these hotel chains. And I was just blown away. Because, you know, you have a whole fleet of people who are willing to work for you, that if they don't accept the low wage that you're giving them, you just get people from, you know, a poor region in the world and hope that they don't say anything about the wage, right? And it just stays on because, you know, the government is making money, the international hotel chain is making money. This isn't my opinion, but when I was reading this, it was like, why care about the little guy? You know, and I find that really sad because there are millions of people who go to Cancun every year, and their money goes into the system or the government system, you know, to Mexico, but the people of Mexico are not benefited in the way that they should be, right? Could you imagine working in one of these luxury hotels or condominiums or anything like that, and you are seeing the quintessential experience of luxury, and then you go back home and you might not even have running water or enough money to feed your kids, or whatever the case may be. You might just have money issues, but yeah, you're literally working in an area filled with luxury. I just couldn't imagine. You know, it's kind of one of those things where you start to question, is it good for governments to kind of find a way to uplift their citizens if there are these repercussions? Is that really a good scenario to put your people through? I mean, I know the government is most likely profiting pretty well off of Cancun, but that doesn't mean the people are doing too well. And I think that's kind of the scary thing about globalism, right? Is that you could just get workers from somewhere else. If the workers that you have access to in the host country, don't believe the wages are right. It's kind of scary to think about it that way. Not only that, though, there's also detrimental effects on the environment that might not be reversible. Like I said before, there was a lot of soil erosion, sand erosion, but with the increasing population, you have to think, and this is, again, one of those things that a lot of people underestimate.
Yeah, well, maybe next time you will estimate me.
You have to think there's more waste produced. Whether that's sewage, whether that's garbage, whatever types of waste it is, there's more of it. There's more people in the area. I'm really actually liking the way this look is coming out. Better at blending, to be honest with you. I just learned how to do makeup last year. I didn't know how to do it before. So if you have any suggestions or comments or anything, just let me know. Yeah, there's environmental effects. With a bigger population, there's obviously going to be more waste. But where do you put all that waste? That's the $1 million question. And as a tourist, I feel like you don't really think about this, but you're bringing your, how do I say this? You're kind of bringing your environmental burden. I don't want to say burden, but just the fact that we're human and that, we produce waste no matter what. You're bringing that wherever you go. And it's up to that host country to decide how to get rid of it. So right now, unfortunately, there's illegal garbage dumps around Cancun and around Mexico because there's so much waste coming from the tourism industry in Cancun that they don't know what to do with it. And unfortunately, and this isn't just US tourists, but tourists that just come from, any part of the world, there's this theory that you're most likely to pollute somewhere that isn't your house. And I don't mean just pollute like throwing chemicals outside or something like that. I'm talking have you ever seen somebody, and I've seen this a million times, they're driving in their car and they decide to throw something out the window. And to me, that aggravates me. I'm like, why are you doing that? That's so wrong. But to some people, who cares? This isn't my opinion, but for some people in their mind, it's like, who cares? This isn't my house. I don't have to clean it up. If you throw an element of you're not even in your home country, that could make it a lot worse, right? It's kind of like, I'm trying to choose a glitter now. It's like, why care? I'm not in the United States, or I'm not in the UK, or I'm not in Australia, or wherever you're from. So I'm just gonna litter. I'm having fun. I'm living my life. Especially when you start to put, drinking or anything into that equation, people their judgment's not the same, right? So you're kind of in this, I don't care, I'm living my life, I paid for this vacation, I work hard. And I'm not saying that, you can't work hard, play hard, but you're literally throwing your environmental problems on top of another country. So they're having problems, unfortunately, figuring out, like a lot of tourist spots, which as I get into my channel, I'm going to show you a lot of places that have had, honestly, garbage emergencies. And Bali's one of them. That might be another episode. Bali's another one who had a garbage emergency, and Cancun might be in that spot sooner rather than later, especially with so many people wanting to escape the United States restrictions right now. They want to go to a beach, they want to relax, and as I've been doing research, a lot of other islands do not want us there because we are a high-risk country, unfortunately. Cancun has opened, its doors to us, but at what cost? Are they really ready for the influx of people that might come because of reopening, right? It might be worse than before. Oh, that glitter looks nice. It might be worse than it was in years prior. And when I say worse, I don't mean money-wise, but I just mean, more people going. Are they going to be able to sustain them all? Are they going to be able to sustain the waste and the garbage, or is it all gonna come crashing down? I've been trying to think of a solution, right? And I think, honestly, at this point, step one is just doing your research, right? Figuring out maybe how a place became popular, what they're doing in order to reduce waste or become, I guess, more environmentally friendly. And I say environmentally friendly because there's another theory that I want to talk about. I don't know if it's a theory, but it honestly blew my mind. I was in class the other day, and one of my professors said that there's no ethical consumption in capitalism. And I sat there and I'm like, what? Like, especially in my generation, I don't know if I'm a Gen Z, I think, or a millennial, but we try to be ethical in our spending, right? Like, if we're gonna go for a brand, it has to be, biodegradable, they have to recycle, they have to help the world in some way. We try to buy thoughtfully, if that makes sense. But when he said that, I was like, yeah, it's kind of true. There is no ethical consumption in capitalism. You might disagree with that, and that's totally fine. You're welcome to your own opinion, and you're welcome to, try to fight that, because I definitely want to, but as a consumer, you're still buying something, right? You're still buying into the tourism dream, right? Of, oh, let me go to Cancun and relax. I mean, I buy into that dream, right? I went to Cancun. It was beautiful. And I didn't know about the origin that the government created it. And they wanted to uplift, a poor area, but it didn't really work that way, because once international hotels came into the picture, it kind of muddied the whole thing. So I think education is a big part of it. When I was scouring YouTube, because I like to see what content there is on travel, I didn't really see anybody talking about the origins of Cancun. I didn't see anybody talk about how it was created and with the zones and the hotel zone right on the strip. It was just honestly like Cancun vlogs, and I feel like I didn't see any of that. It's mainly Cancun vlogs. Look at me at a hotel in Cancun, I'm doing this, but nobody really looks into why the place they're going is so popular, right? So I think education, I like this look. I think education is a big part of it. And now I'm going to let you in on a little secret. So I don't know if this is true or not, but as you know, Cancun is thoughtfully placed in an area where you could go to Mayan ruins, right? It's pretty close, maybe like an hour or two. One of my teachers a few years ago, I was taking history of Latin America, and he was talking about Cancun, how it has Mayan history. And apparently the Mexican government and the Mayans disagreed about where Cancun should go. And like a lot of times in history, the first people's opinion are not really considered. But there's Mayan belief that Cancun was one of the biggest Mayan burial grounds.
That's so crazy.
And I don't know if this is like urban legend, but the Mayans believe that one day their ancestors are going to come back in a form of like a hurricane or a big storm and get rid of Cancun forever. Ooh, I have goosebumps from that. When he said that, again, I couldn't really find anything on the internet, so I don't know how true that is. But I was like, whoa, that makes sense. It's near Mayan ruins. There had to be some sort of history there before the Spaniards came and conquered, and that might be it. So again, there's not a clear-cut solution. I just want to say thank you for supporting my channel and this video. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment, and let me know, like, how do you feel after learning about this? Do you want me to do another one of these videos? It honestly brings to light how places become popular, right? And just to go over what we said, I just want to do a little overview. The Mexican government created Cancun in order to be a revenue builder for the country. And it worked. I will say they did a very good job. I would probably say at least 4 out of 10 people I ask have been to Cancun or want to go. They have done an effective job at making it a tourist destination and a wanted tourist destination, right? People see it on Instagram, people see it on social media, and they're like, oh, I want to go there. The beach is beautiful. It's literally as blue as can be. But just to leave you with some food for thought, what are the environmental problems? Is it going to last for another 50, 60 years if the sand is the soil is eroding? Are the people in Mexico happy with how Cancun came out? Does it benefit them? These are questions I want you to sit with. And I'm not saying when you travel that you have to save the world, because I know that we live in a society where work is number one, but I want you to sit there and think about your effect on the world, because even though you feel like I'm only one person, that's how a lot of people feel. I'm only one person. But once you start adding it up, it becomes hundreds and then thousands and then, you know, millions. So yeah, that's the truth about Cancun and how it was created. And if you have any questions about this video, just let me know in the comments. And if you want more of content like this, let me know. And I hope this look came out good. Again, I have some mascara right there. But overall, I think it's pretty cute. Again, I'm not doing my eyebrows or anything like that. I just wanted to see how it would come out. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for sticking through it. And until next time.